Welcome to Post in Black, everybody. My name is David Hunter Jr. Welcome to Post in Black, everybody. My name is David Hunter Jr. And today we have with us another special guest, Brother James Hatcher. What's going on, bro?
What's up,
How you doing,
man?
man?
How you doing, bro?
Appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah, man.
Before we jump right in, we have to start with the icebreaker. We always start with the icebreaker on Post in Black, so we're gonna hit you off with something a little savory. Pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Waffles. You're a waffle man. Now
Yeah.
you want the Belgium or you want the regular little four square, the Eggos? You know what I mean?
Oh man,
Shit,
will y'all
what you
judge
say.
me if I tell you this right here?
Yeah.
My sister got like this little Mickey Mouse, not like Fugazi, but the actual Mickey Mouse.
Really?
Like waffle maker.
Are you serious?
Yo, she be going in on it, bro. I be like eating the ears and stuff. It be, man.
What year did that start?
This started
Last week?
Nah, this definitely started when we were kids, but
Okay.
you know what I'm saying. It's still something that we.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, she'll bring the Mickey Mouse out, and I'm like, yo,
Okay.
that's what's up.
Okay,
That's how
all
we
right.
go down.
That's fire. Okay, all right. I'm more of a pancake man when my mom makes it, but for me, when I'm
yeah.
making it, I definitely do the waffles.
Okay. Yeah.
And then I got a favorite restaurant here in LA called the Serving Spoon. They French toast.
Serving spoons.
Smack. It's in
Okay.
Inglewood.
Okay.
Inglewood.
I'm
I'm not getting paid for any of this promotion, but the Serving Spoon in Inglewood, they know my name.
okay.
So we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about you, bro.
Yeah, man.
Post in
I'm
Black. So we are here talking about post-production, working behind the scenes. I met you recently on a shoot, and you were doing the sound for it, but you said you've been working in post for a while. So tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you're from, how you even got into the industry.
Yeah, man. So I'm originally from Bessemer, Alabama.
Okay.
So it's a small town, like 40,000 people, right outside of Birmingham.
Okay.
And I got started actually. My dad's a professional musician.
Gotcha.
So I started in music. I've been playing, music since I was age 5.
Really?
Yeah. So, all the greats would be coming through the city and through our house, really. So my dad would be playing, practicing with different bands and different artists. And, I would be mixing. He'd be like, turn that up some, turn this down some.
Really?
And that's how I learned how to mix. Like, just threw me right in the fire.
Really?
Yeah, and it's
Well, about
crazy,
what
but-
age was that?
Yeah, like 5, 6.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Man, so you were in it. You had it in your bones.
Yeah, they weren't playing either. They
Okay.
treat you like a grown man.
Right.
Like if you stand behind that mixing board, you better know what you're doing.
Okay, make sure it sound good. Sound
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So what type of instruments were you playing? Obviously with mixing and everything. What'd you get started with?
The first instrument I learned how to play was bass.
Bass, okay.
So bass guitar, then piano, guitar, drums.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Everything.
Yeah. I was like deep in the arts. Like they had me in. I was in dance school for a bit. I was getting like in acting and theater and all that kind of stuff. So
Okay.
they had your boy in the arts.
So you had a chance to like see all of it.
Yeah.
And you ended up doing the behind the scenes. So what kind of steered your way? Was it already having a parent that was in it on the front side?
Well,
Or was it different?
my parents, like my dad was a professional musician. My mom was also an actress and a singer.
Okay.
And she would sing background for a lot of groups, like Shy Temptation, that sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Okay.
And that's how my parents met. They were, my mom had a background gig. My dad had a gig with the Temptations.
Wow.
And they were getting alterations to their outfits done. And they both met at the Taylor's house.
Really?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Yeah.
That's why I knew it was just from that moment.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I mean, like from growing up, it was just like, it's always music or some type of art going on, in the household. And I guess with me, I really was fascinated. I'm fascinated with all of it. Couldn't imagine not having any of it be a part of my life. But I was really fascinated with behind the scenes, the magic of, taking just an idea and playing it out. And then, or whether it's music or, it's a script or it's a dance or whatever, or painting, just any kind of art form, just to have like a thought and then manifest that.
Wow.
And then like keep working on it, keep cultivating it and make it into something great.
Yeah.
That magic, those magic in between moments behind the scenes stuff is what really got me going.
You hear that phrase a lot. People always talk about they hear movie magic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you kind of speaking to it. For some people, for me being primarily an actor and a writer, it's the feeling that you get when you have a line or a scene, it's an emotion or something.
Right, you deliver that line just right.
Deliver it right, and you feel it. And you can feel, even though you're in it, you feel it's like quiet on set and everybody's watching you. And you're talking about those moments where you're able to tie something together behind, or maybe there's something in the editing process that you see that scene was better than this take, or vice versa. Even the music, maybe.
Right. When you take something it just sounds okay, or it's just kind of flat, it's just there, and then you put an effect on it, or you twist it, or you nudge it left or right, and it just boom. That's,
okay.
You can't teach that or learn that, or
you can't.
It just happens,
So did you go to school right off the bat? Because obviously you started when you're 5. You're already in the business, kind of knowing some things from your parents. Was there like a trajectory of like, oh, we're gonna steer you here, or did you kind of make your own pathway for yourself to kind of move along?
No, my parents were really. They were really liberal as far as my upbringing. They were strict in certain areas, like as far as my formal education, schooling, and when I got home from school, like whatever my mom was doing, I had to help her do it. So if she was cooking or making dresses, sewing, or cleaning the house, whatever she was doing, I was doing it.
Yeah.
And then when my dad came home, I would be helping him with music or mixing or whatever he was working on, like projects around the house, clean the gutters, like
yeah. Okay.
Got to rebuild this doghouse or whatever.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
That man stuff, like get it.
Then Then I could like get my school stuff ready for the next day. Then I could go outside and play.
Okay.
And then like up beyond that, they were really liberal. So like I could listen to whatever kind of music I wanted to listen to. Like even at a young age, I could stay up as late as I wanted to. I could, kind of go where I wanted to go. Like like as long as I had those things in check, it
was pretty cool.
Good.
It was free. So did you end up going to like college or school? Or
yes, I did. But like my formal education is actually in computer engineering.
Okay.
Music technology.
Yeah.
And architecture, like construction, that sort of thing.
Okay. So putting things together still.
Yeah. So like when I was 14, I wanted a studio so bad.
Okay. Music studio?
Music studio.
Okay.
I wanted a music studio so bad that I asked my parents if I could convert my bedroom into a music studio.
Really?
And then they were like, what? Okay. Like, well, it's your room. Like, you ain't gotta live in there. Do whatever you want to do. So like I got all the like normal like kid stuff out and took my bed out, everything out. And like built a sound booth, and start bringing equipment in and that sort of thing.
That's funny.
I was in there recording, running sessions. Like I was
really,
I was charging folks in the community.
Really, you was bringing people in.
Man, I was 14. I had a studio in my bedroom, converted my bedroom to a studio, and I had it kind of like a little mini. What's a little fold down bed? Murphy bed. Murphy bed. I made like a little Murphy bed type situation. Yeah, and. We had a house fire like in 96, 97.
Oh man.
And the insurance company sent like engineers out and engineers and construction workers, that sort of thing, to see if the house needed to be torn down or if it could be if it was still structurally sound. So they came in and saw the studio and was like, yo, like what company did y'all hire to build a studio? And, I was feeling myself.
That was your boy.
Oh, it was
Don't
your
worry.
boy.
What company?
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that's me. That's me company.
So they were like really impressed. And they were like, you have an actual gift for this. Like, we want to show you how to really do it, how to like read blueprints and actually structure this thing out and really do it for real.
Oh, that's fine.
So I like apprenticed under them and actually helped rebuild my home house.
That's crazy. So a tragedy actually took you into a situation where it kind of steered you into a gift that you had.
So I rebuilt the studio, of course, and then everybody was like really impressed with what was going on, and they wanted one.
Okay.
So friends. And,
you started contracting studios,
I started a construction business, building and designing studios, post facilities.
Really?
I was like 15 or 16, like just legit building studios for like well-known artists.
That's
and
crazy.
engineers and that sort of thing.
I have to look at the camera because I don't know what I was doing at 14 and 15, but it wasn't building no studios and doing stuff for my friends like that.
I was so immersed in music and mixing and just the life of the industry. That's all I wanted to do. That's all I cared about. And that was what I did for fun. You know?
Okay.
So that's where all my money went.
Well, no, I mean, I talk about like one of my favorite quotes with Walt Disney. He says, we don't make movies to make money. We make money to make more movies.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I would literally, every dime I got when I was young was at the theater. You know what I mean? Me and AMC, that was my best friend. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm going here. They knew what to give me, brownies and an AMC card to always be at the movies. But let's talk about that. So you were in Bessemer, Alabama.
Bessemer, Alabama.
Man.
Bessemer.
Bessemer. Say it right. Say it right. Bessemer. Tell the people.
It's Bessemer.
Bessemer. Y'all hear that voice
spelled
change?
Bessemer, Bessemer, Bessemer.
Bessemer.
But we said Bessemer.
Bessemer. You Bessemer say that right. That's right. So how did you transition from Bessemer out here to Los Angeles? Well, you've been out here for how long now?
Since 2011.
Okay, got you. So that's some time.
So the transition out here was actually just a no-brainer. Like, I had a few clients and a few potential sponsorships. Like, they were like, yeah, come out and we love what you're doing and all that kind of stuff. Because I was doing music for artists and labels and that sort of thing.
Okay.
At that time, the internet obviously was fast enough to be able to send stuff back and forth.
Right.
And virtual sessions had started becoming like really popular. So like where you'll have a bass player in Arkansas, a drummer in Phoenix, and keyboard player. I might put keys on it, or like they'll send the music, I'll put keys on it, or I'll put some so whatever.
Do whatever they need on it.
Whatever's missing, I'll fill in the blanks.
Okay.
And send it back, and then sometimes they'll just use those. They'll actually use it, or sometimes they'll just use it for like inspiration tracks or group tracks to kind of like, we want to do a little jazzy thing, and then you send them something, and they're like, I kind of like what that piano's doing, and then they'll create something on top of that.
So you had a music background. That's kind of how my brother Daniel, who founded Post and Black, got into this. He was doing music publishing. He went to Berkeley College of Music, but then there was a love that he had for the making of the films. When he saw films that they were doing the music for us, he said, "I want to get into that. What's that? With how they put the scenes together." So was there a switch? Obviously your parents being in the industry, did you have a mentor or something that triggered your mind to want to go into more what you're doing with you? I just worked with you on the film when you were doing the sound for it, or you're doing some editing. Was there a switch that kind of, drove you to want to say, hey, how do I get into this part?
Well, it was just kind of like a natural transition. So I was already doing music and post audio for music.
Okay.
So and then I was like acting a little bit in theater and that sort of thing. So like I was like, like there's a thing that I use in this music studio that'll help in theater make this better. So I just kind of started doing those things. And then I started liking it. I was like, I like actually, doing this side of it too. Ain't all the fun ain't on stage. Just some fun to be had back here too. So I started, like doing sound for like theater and doing sound for like churches and local ministries, nonprofits.
Now explain to the people, because there's a lot of things that come with doing sound. Me, an amateur, I'd be like, I'm doing sound. And I'm just holding a stick that somebody tells me to hold it higher, hold it lower. And the stick is called a boom. I didn't even know that. What is doing sound per se for you? What are your job, description for you when you say doing sound?
Okay, so it varies, depends on where you are. Like if you're, say, the sound mixer for a concert, like Beyonce sound mixer or something like that, then that's an A1.
A1. Now tell A1, because we pretending that these people don't know what it is. So tell people what A1 is.
It's Audio 1. So basically, this is the person in charge. He's like everything. Everything falls on him or her. So this is the person in charge, and they are responsible for the design, layout, what equipment we're going to use, what goes where, blah, 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 like what effects we're going to use, all that sort of thing, like where the wires are going to be.
They're like the director of the behind the scenes with everything.
Right, it's like the DP of the music. Or the sound.
Of the sound.
Yeah, so That's for a music side. For location or like a set, it's called your head person in sound is a sound mixer.
Sound mixer, okay.
So it's a sound mixer, boom operator, utility sound.
Okay.
And then like sometimes sound department have like PAs and stuff like that.
Okay. There's a lot involved with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's somebody you just see, oh, I'm watching a TV show with Gabrielle Union and I can hear her, but they don't know all the things that went into it. With there was a knock back there, or there's a knock at the door. Maybe they didn't have time to get the actual knock, so they just put that in there. What does put that in there even mean? You know,
put that in there. So that takes place in post. So now you have with a film or a television show or commercial or interview, what have you. You have a post audio mixer, and that's a whole nother team. So you'll have an audio editor who's like responsible for just editing the audio clips, so they make sure that everything flows seamlessly, it's synced right, and all the clips fade in and fade out correctly. And it sounds like an actual conversation. You ever watch some films or some TV show? I ain't gonna call no names. Yeah. But it'll be like here you have like a wide establishing. Yeah. And then you go into coverage like over the shoulders. Yeah. And then you might have like, a little specialty like slider shot or something like that. And every time the camera moves, the sound changes. It's 29 different room tones in the one conversation.
A lot of people don't even know when they watching this, there's like, man, there's a skill set to it. But they know when it's wrong.
They know
when it's right. They're just watching. You can't tell. And that's a good thing. But when it's off, even somebody has no industry background, no knowledge, they're like, wait, that don't sound right. That ain't right. That didn't look right. His mouth wasn't even moving. Right. You can pick up on it.
Yeah, what sound is saying is if nobody says anything, you're doing a great job.
There it is. There it is. I like that. If nobody says anything, you're doing a great job. Yeah. So in terms of you being in the industry, obviously you have parents in the background for singing and you got into sound a little bit. But was there a mentor? Was there somebody you could reach out to when you say, you know what, this is what I want to do? Now I'm getting into this. Literally, when you're working in this industry, it is hard. And so everybody needs some help. People that say, I don't want any help, they're not really going to make it. Everybody gets some help, whether it's some advice that you get, whether it's somebody that actually brings you in for an internship or job. So did you have anybody that kind of brought you along and say, hey, James, come with me. Come check this out? Well,
honestly, man, it's just like I've been really blessed, man, just in my career. Like, it's been a lot of people who knew me from doing music and just met me and just like my personality and just like who I was as a person and say, oh, you do this? Can you please help me with my film, or can you come to my film? Just a lot of people like took a lot of chances on me without even hearing or seeing my work or anything. So I've been really fortunate in that aspect. But yeah, definitely, man. I don't want to start calling names because somebody's gonna get mad.
I hear you.
But there's a lot of directors and producers and UPMs.
What's a UPM? You want to tell? Because in case anybody don't know.
Production manager.
Unit production manager. Yes, sir.
So, just a lot of above the line individuals who took a chance on me and just said, hey.
And would you say for somebody trying to get into the business, they need that? Because what you just described is a lot of relationships and just being who you are.
Absolutely.
True to you, it's kind of afforded you the opportunity to have a plethora of options.
Right. Definitely networking. Just getting out there, just trying to get in where you can. Like if it's sound mixing that you're wanting to do, then go up to some sound mixing and say, hey man, can I boom, or can I shadow you? Can I, just be a fly on the wall and say, man, I promise I won't say nothing. I just want to
just get in the room.
Just get in the room and just start getting accustomed to the lingo and getting around and seeing how things flow.
Being of service, maybe something like that.
I'll PA, I'll whatever you need. You know? And then you start, you'll start moving your way up. For sure. Man.
I think a lot of people, especially you've done some acting, but obviously on my side, we're primarily acting. A lot of people are like, what can I get? So it's always, what can I get? Hey, give me this, I can do, and they're kind of looking at it as just a take.
Right.
But you gotta reframe that thinking into, what can I give? I'm not. You're not giving me a job. I'm giving you a service of a talented this and doing. You know what I mean? Try to frame it that way, maybe.
And for anybody that's like that too, I would take a look at myself and say, is this what I really want to be doing? You know what I mean? Because when it's something that you're really passionate about, something that you really want to do, nobody has to tell you to do it, or nobody has to ask you to do it. You'll just do it.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I used to just like set up equipment and just like sit in front of it and like interview myself. And then go back and listen to it to see if it sounds like CNN or whatever.
Oh, that's fire.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would like have like me and some of my producer friends, we have beat making practice. And then we'll like listen to our beats and then turn like 10 beats on and stuff to see if like how to do the snare smack the same way. Like do my vocals ain't quite as crispy as Janet Jackson like mixing vocals. Like what I gotta do to get that crispness.
You probably have a few millions in your pocket to get that. But
the techniques,
it's the mindset.
The techniques and the mindsets. Because if you give a great DP a garbage camera, he'll still make some fire. He'll still shoot some fire. The equipment is like an important tool, but it's not the most important tool. The most important tool is, the person that's operating it.
Hey, that's a message for somebody watching right now. With your camera, with whatever you got, use it. Get out there. Whatever you got is good enough for right now. That's going to be a quote underneath there, probably in our promotion somewhere. Now, you talk about a lot of work. A lot of people pushing yourself, equipment, things. What equipment were you using? Was there something in particular that you had to go out and buy? Like, were you doing research? Once you got in the industry, like, oh, maybe I can buy these things myself. Because as you build up over time, obviously with your end, you got to have some of these things on your side. You got to have your own boom per se, maybe your own cables, know the lingo. So was there a place to research that? Where did you go to buy it? How did you, how did you go about all that, building up who you are today?
As far as the sound stuff, like I did a lot of research, just hanging out with sound mixers, peeking in, sneaking on sets. Don't tell nobody. Just looking around and just seeing what they're using and seeing how they're using it. A lot of just hitting people up randomly.
Okay.
Like looking at professional sites, union sites, and seeing what equipment is for sale. Like all that kind of like, just hitting the ground and just doing that street work. Prior to the internet. Now with the internet out, you can just
no
Google,
excuse.
What's the best sound equipment? But like that during that time, you just had to you had to do that groundwork.
Right.
But yeah, like I said, man, if it's really something that you're passionate about, that's a like self-explanatory question.
Right.
Like you're gonna find a way.
So and now we talk about this. You've been working, you've been doing some things, you've had some experience. What is probably your least favorite project? You gotta mention no names. Or what is your best project, you would say? When your least favorite project, what happened to make it your least favorite? Or what was that, a learning experience, I would say?
Least favorite project. So within the last 3 years, I'll say I did a project where, because I just recently started with a couple business partners of mine, a production company.
Okay.
So this is my second production company.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
And we had a project that was quite difficult. For it was like one of those things where we spent a lot of time in pre-production planning things out and just having them perfect. Like everything is just like, it's just gonna work. Yeah. And then like we get on set and then an EP or a director comes in and just like completely changes everything. It's just like, we're gonna go this route now, and just like no forewarning, no notice, and then like being upset about like things not going, like why isn't everything running smooth? Yeah. So it's like, well, you asked for the red car and we brought the red car, and now you want the the purple
this ain't even
car.
the same
We
color.
can't change the color right quick. We got to go into this whole process. So yeah, man, that was probably one of the most difficult things. And we were talking to each other and we're like, we love doing what we do, but we're hating it right now.
That's big.
When you find yourself in that kind of position, I mean, like we're real fortunate. I mean, we get to have fun for a living. You know what I mean? It's not many people that can say that.
Yeah.
It's like we're like artists. We're
Yeah.
like literally able to like have fun for a living.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's very important though. I mean, it sounds kind of like kind of snobbish or whatever, but it's really it's really important that artists are having fun when they're creating.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's one of the main things that makes the art so great, and why people receive it is because they receive that energy. They feel that.
They feel the love behind it.
They feel that everybody really loved what they were doing, and everybody was having fun. And that's why you go to the movies, to be a part of that fun. You know? That's why you consume content, is to be a part of a party that maybe you can't physically be there, but you can tap into that energy from anywhere.
And speaking to that, you know, what is something that you feel like you had the most fun on, you know, a project, you know?
One of the most fun projects, I had a lot, was probably the Olympics campaign that we're doing.
Okay.
So I did a little bit of everything on it. I did like a little producing, I did some post audio, I did location audio, I did like I camera operated a couple shots. Man, we just had fun. We were just
in the credits all throughout.
We were just traveling all over, everywhere there was freezing cold and snowing. Just following around like these.
Okay. What Olympics was this for?
The 2018.
Olympics. 2018. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah. That was one of the fun projects. Yeah, because we got to do a lot of traveling, meet a lot of like. Just these high-end, top-tier athletes, you know, and just see their drive and their ethic, and like touch bases on a lot of things, because we're out here doing it every day.
Right.
Like if you stop doing it, then somebody's taking your place.
Exactly.
You get
Exactly.
around. So they're like, we kind of like understood each other in a lot of things. So made a lot of instant friends.
Okay.
So that was a real fun project, man.
Yeah.
And then I did some composing and stuff too for the Olympics. So
really?
I was able to bring in a group of my friends, like phenomenal musicians and singers. And man, we had so much fun in the studio. I'm telling you, we were crying. It was like that was a great time, man. We had a really great time.
It sounds like, man, that's awesome. I mean, that's something I think a lot of people would aspire to want to get to a point where they can have like projects like that, where they're like, man, that's a joy. These people are not just this project friend. These are some lifelong friends, and we may keep in touch with. One last thing before we touch on, obviously being post and black, we highlight a lot of people of color, African Americans, that work behind the scenes. What's the hardest part about being black, working in the industry, you feel? I know there's a lot of progress and things that are happening right now, but what are some things and challenges that you've experienced or you feel like are still a challenge right now for you?
There's been a few shoots that I went on where they looked at my resume and they made a couple calls and, I guess got some good feedback and booked me for the job. Yeah. And then I got on set and they were like, "Oh, you're black?"
No, they did. Are you serious?
Like, do it matter? Like,
that's crazy.
I was good enough to get hired, so like I'm good enough to.
That's wild. Had they like called you, talked to you, everything?
Yeah, like talked to me on the phone and everything, you know.
So they, man, that's crazy.
I'm talking about like talking on the phone, like they checked out my resume and.
Thanks, James. Thanks for coming.
I got that Decepticon name, you know. James Hatcher Jr.
James Hatcher Jr. I'm like, well, he's from Bessemer, Alabama. The road at nice. Maybe we got a winner.
Yeah, I guess that worked in my favor.
That's
a little
crazy.
Bit, you know what I'm
Maybe, but you got in there. Changed some perception.
Right.
That's wild. Luckily, I ain't had nothing that blunt or blatant.
Bro, just like straight up, just in my face with it. But I mean, like, you know where I'm from. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah. That's a whole nother story.
Exactly.
Man.
I'd rather be that way than the like super, sneaky undercut.
Yeah,
stuff.
man.
You run into that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too. You don't even know you got some stuff going against you. Exactly. And smile in your face.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but no, bro, we can't thank you enough for being on here, posting black.
Man, bro,
James Hatcher.
Pleasure, man.
Appreciate you. Hey, tell the people where they can find you, how they can follow you, how they can get in touch with you for work, because it's going to go out to a lot of people in the industry. So we really want to highlight you and everything you're doing. So James Hatcher Jr., where can we find you and reach out to you, email, anything, we'll put it on the podcast for it. So.
Copy that. Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram at JHatJr. You can throw me a line on Facebook, James Hatcher Jr. You can email me at jhjbiz1@gmail.com.
Next project coming up, anything coming up that we can look out for?
Yeah, so actually a couple things coming up. I am working on a feature film right now I'm producing.
Yeah.
Under my production company, Illumination Situation. Check that out, illuminationsituation.com. Where I'm producing a feature film, Surrogate Mother. So it's going to be a psych thriller. It's really
sounds deep.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be a lot of fun, man. We're having a lot of fun. Like in pre-production, we're having so much fun. So I know it's gonna be a great project. So be looking out for that. Also, we're doing a rebrand with my production company, and we're folding in like some new things. So I'm kind of like a little hush hush about it right now, but like look forward, like in 2020, man. So big things.
2020 is popping.
Big teams.
Big teams, man.
Big teams 2020.
You know, if you ever need a voiceover for your
I do,
site,
bro. I was just thinking, I was like, bro, I'm gonna
This
need
Friday.
that voice, bro.
Man, let's
need
get
that.
it. Yes.
I got about 12 projects in mind. I'm gonna need that voice for
let's
right
get
now.
it, bro. We trying to work. So,
Yes, sir,
yeah.
bro. I'm gonna cut you a check too. I ain't gonna actually come out for free.
Man. Yeah, y'all can't see this on the podcast, but you're watching the video. I'm hitting some right now. You know,
That's the hand scooping them checks up.
Scooping them checks up. That's right. I love it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to Post in Black. We appreciate LTE Visions for hosting us at the studio. And thank you to everyone tuning in. Be sure to follow us on our podcast, our Spotify, Instagram, social media, everything. And make sure you tune in every week for Post in Black. See you next time.